r/askreddit, what does America do better than most countries? I think the stat is something like the US has half of all the large carriers in the world right now. I do know in WW2 by the end of 1944 or 45 they had more escort carriers in service than most countries had naval ships commissioned in the country's entire history. Hot dog eating contests. I was going to say that the champion of the Nathan's famous contest is Japanese, but I looked it up and Joey Chestnut is the current reigning champion. Dominate media and pop culture around the world. Nobody else comes close to the US in this regard. If you count largely Western markets, then yes. Bollywood movies and Indian music and TV soaps are hugely popular in South Asia, Middle East, Indonesia, and Africa. Movies. One of the things I'll forever be most thankful for is discovering filmmaking outside of Hollywood. America is great at what they set out to do, but movies can be so much more. National parks. We also have amazing state parks and local parks. Before anyone starts, know you having woods too isn't the same thing. Canada's a pretty close competitor when it comes to national parks, but I definitely have quite a few US national parks I want to visit before I die. You should check out the ones we've got here in Africa. Turning corn into things that are not corn. Entertainment. Movies, music, and Americans just know how to put on a show. Landmen on the moon. USA, 12. Rest of world, 0. I like how soon we'll be able to toss a few more numbers on the USA list and one for Canada. Because if we are going to take one foreign nation to ride shotgun with us, it would be, of course, our little brother, Canada. Entertainment. Best Mexican food outside of Mexico. A big chunk of it was Mexico, so. Pornography. You have every fucking niche. Sure, maybe Japan invented a lot of the eel porn, but still. Eel porn, would have. Soul music. Rhythm and blues music. Funk music. Gospel music. Air conditioning. When you have this much corn, what else do you do with it? According to my European friends, music. Do your friends not listen to their own music? Weird for your European friends to have never heard of the UK. Fried food. Ahem, but the Koreans and Scottish would like a word. I had fried Oreos yesterday, thought I died and went to heaven. Unlimited soda refills and unlimited ice cubes to go with it. Popular music. Hip-hop. I tried to open a bank account in a third world country, the service was awful and it took 3 days because they kept remembering items I need to go home and get. I opened up a bank account in America, it took 25 minutes and they printed my debit card on the spot. For instance, the largest corn palace in the world. Link. Full disclosure, also the only corn palace in the world. Barbecue. Paying for every other nation's defense spending. I mean, not necessarily a point of huge pride, but warfare. Anyone who thinks the states could be taken in direct conflict has been getting too much news from Reddit or TikTok. When combatability has been used to encourage global stability, one could argue it is a point of pride. US naval dominance keeps the sea lane safe and helps deters piracy, which is absolutely key to ensuring international trade and global prosperity. Cheeseburgers. College choice, you can pick your own school, change schools halfway through, change major and minors fairly easily. This isn't the case in a lot of other countries. Not to mention even average colleges in the US are pretty good by international standards. I know people love to focus on Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Stanford, MIT, etc., but plenty of state schools are still good. It's debatable how reliable US News and World Report's rankings are, but according to them, Arizona State, Link is ranked 156 out of 2,156 global universities. Giving money to PPL who hate us. That's a fact. LOL. Innovation and patents. Abundance, both of good and bad things. The actual land of the USA, such incredible and diverse landscapes. From sea to shining sea. A uniquely privileged position. Since 1945 or so it saved Western Europe a fortune in military expenditures. And helped to promote one of the longer periods of peace on a historically bloody continent. Peter Zihan said the Europeans have taken a vacation from history for the last half-century. Comfort food and desserts. Honestly, I believe we have a very large amount of outspoken people. Most of which are friendly. Our national parks are wonderful. Most of what we have is pretty damn good. I sometimes wish more Americans traveled abroad more and learned how good we have it. Air conditioning. Inclusion of minority populations. There is racism there obviously. But generally they will do their best to include marginalized people or even animals. Certain politicians aside. Many other countries don't even see their own systemic racism as an issue. It's just their culture. The US does a great deal of rectifying injustice. A big lump with knobs, it's got the juice. Part of Japan comes to mind. Let non-American immigrants become Americans that are just as American as the ones whose relatives came over on the Mayflower. You got a passport and you say you're American, then you're American as apple pie. ACLOS. It's a 14-year process. Sandwiches. There are a ton of just phenomenal American sandwiches. Sports. The US attracts top world talent. Especially soccer players at the age of 35 and older. For all that people gripe about us being racist, there are very few countries our size and population so diverse, and I defy you to find one you'd rather live in. On a related note, complain all you like about our imperialism, but when things go wrong abroad, we're the ones people are screeching at to put boots on the ground and start doing something. And GT, for all that people gripe about us being racist. Yeah, most people have not seen the shit that comes out of China, let alone the shit in China. Chatting. I'm from a Euro country where most people will avoid talking to stranger. But you can literally talk to anyone you met in the street in the US and most of them are willing to talk. Yet I asked my English friend, when we were talking about this very topic, how they ever meet a significant other because it seems like people don't speak to strangers. He said that either your mum sets you up or you get absolutely shit-faced at the pub and whoever came home with you is now your significant other. Aircraft carriers.